Some places are meant to be explored, others are meant to be avoided. And then there are places that don't react to human presence at all, because they were never meant to. This story begins underground, far from cities, far from cell towers, far from light. In a cave system beneath the deserts of the American Southwest, a man entered alone. Days later, his phone was found, still recording. What it captured was never officially released. This is the case of Aaron Cole. Before we continue this story, I want to make a special invitation to you who made it this far. If you enjoy real mysteries, dark cases, and stories that history tried to hide, then take a moment now and subscribe to the channel Paranormal Abyss. It helps our work immensely and ensures you won't miss the next episodes. Every week we bring new stories, always with deep research and cinematic storytelling. And do me a favor, leave a like right now. It's a simple gesture, but it makes all the difference for the channel. YouTube understands that the content is worth watching and shows it to more people. And I'd like to get to know you better. Comment below which city you're watching from and what time it is there right now. I read every comment, and I'm always amazed to see how far the stories from this channel reach. All right, now we can continue. Let's return to the case. The San Miguel Cave Network lies beneath a remote stretch of desert in New Mexico. From the surface, there is nothing remarkable. Dry land, sparse vegetation, endless horizon. But below ground, the landscape changes completely. Miles of narrow tunnels, vertical drops, passages carved by water thousands of years ago. Some sections are mapped, many are not. Local cavers describe the deeper zones as wrong. Not dangerous, wrong. Sound behaves differently there. Distances feel distorted. Time becomes unreliable. And voices don't echo the way they should. Aaron Cole was 32 years old, a geological engineer, an experienced spelunker, a meticulous planner. He had explored cave systems across the United States. He logged every descent, every turn, every tunnel. Aaron believed caves were predictable. Physics, geology, patterns. On March 11, 2022, Aaron entered the San Miguel Cave Network alone. He informed colleagues of his route, carried professional equipment, and brought redundant lighting and communication devices. He planned to be inside for 6 hours. He was never seen again. Aaron's phone was set to record for documentation. The video begins normally, helmet light illuminating rock walls, slow, controlled breathing, methodical movement. At timestamp 00.47:18, Aaron stops walking. He says quietly, "That's strange." The camera tilts toward a narrow opening, a tunnel, smooth walls, recently exposed rock. It did not appear on any known map. Aaron studies it for several seconds, then he speaks again. "There's another tunnel here. It wasn't on the map." He enters. As Aaron moves deeper, the environment changes. His voice sounds closer to the microphone, as if the space around him is compressing. At 01:12:03, the tunnel narrows. Aaron exhales slowly. "I don't like this." He laughs lightly, a nervous habit. Then, something happens. His breathing pauses. He whispers, "Did you hear that?" The camera captures nothing, but the silence feels wrong. At 01:19:41, a sound appears on the recording, not an echo, not stone shifting. A voice, soft, distant, unintelligible. Aaron freezes. The phone shakes slightly. He whispers, "Hello?" The voice stops. Aaron waits, then says, "That wasn't me." The recording continues. At 01:33:109, the video abruptly cuts. No explanation. No shutdown message, just black. The phone continues recording audio for several seconds. Breathing, then silence. When the video resumes, the timestamp has jumped forward. No transition, no explanation. The image returns at 02:06:52. Aaron is still inside the cave. But something is different. His movements are slower, less deliberate. The camera angle wobbles slightly, as if his balance is off. He breathes in, then out, then whispers, "I don't remember stopping the recording." Aaron checks his wristwatch. The camera briefly focuses on it. According to the watch, only 40 minutes have passed since he entered the new tunnel, but the phone timestamp shows over 2 hours. Aaron frowns. That's not possible. He tries to laugh. It doesn't sound convincing. The walls appear closer now, not collapsing, just nearer. The tunnel narrows into an oval shape, forcing Aaron to crouch. His breathing becomes audible, measured, controlled, but tense. This tunnel shouldn't go on this long. The light from his helmet struggles to reach ahead. The darkness feels thicker. Aaron taps the cave wall with a gloved hand. The sound returns late. Not as an echo, as a response. The delay is wrong. Too precise. He taps again. The sound answers again, perfectly timed. Aaron stops moving. He doesn't tap a third time. Chapter 11. First confirmation. At 02:21:17, Aaron speaks directly to the camera. There's something off about the acoustics. He swallows. Echoes don't behave like this. He pauses, listening. Nothing responds, but the silence feels attentive. At 02:28:04, the microphone picks up something new. Breathing, not Aaron's. It's slower, deeper, out of sync. Aaron freezes. He turns his headlamp slowly. The light reveals only stone. No movement, no animal, no equipment. But the breathing continues, then stops the exact moment Aaron stops breathing. Aaron presses his hand against the cave wall. He speaks calmly, almost professionally. Okay, I'm experiencing auditory distortion. He nods to himself. This happens. He repeats it. This happens. But his voice cracks on the second repetition. Aaron exhales, then says quietly, I know I'm alone. The response comes immediately, not loud, not aggressive, just close, too close. The voice says, I know. Aaron does not scream. He does not run. He simply stands still. The camera shakes violently for 3 seconds, then steadies. Aaron whispers, That sounded like me. His breathing accelerates. But it didn't come from me. The camera turns slowly, searching the tunnel behind him. Empty. Stone. Darkness. No source. Aaron pulls out a laminated cave map. He holds it up to the camera. His finger traces the planned route. We should be here. He taps the map. This tunnel doesn't exist. The light flickers briefly. Not a failure, just hesitation. Aaron begins to walk again. After several minutes, the tunnel opens slightly. The rock formations look familiar. Too familiar. Aaron stops. The camera focuses on a marking he scratched earlier, his own. He whispers, No. He turns slowly. The tunnel behind him looks identical to the one ahead. Aaron speaks faster now. I didn't turn around. He looks down at his boots, fresh footprints, his own, leading both directions. Without warning, the voice returns, clearer, closer. It says his name, Aaron. Perfect pronunciation, perfect tone, not threatening, inviting. Aaron shuts his eyes. He whispers, Stop. The voice obeys, immediately. The video continues. Aaron stands still, eyes closed, counting under his breath. 1, 2, 3. At 02:47:11, the recording ends abruptly again. No fade, no error, just black. The video returns at 03:14:06. No transition, no explanation. Aaron is kneeling. The camera angle is low, as if the phone was resting against the cave wall. His breathing is audible, shallow, careful. He speaks softly. I'm conserving battery. Then he adds, and I don't want it to hear me. Aaron switches off his headlamp. The screen goes almost completely dark. Only grain, only shadow. He waits. 10 seconds, 20. Then he whispers, Okay. He turns the light back on. Nothing has changed. No movement, no figure. But the air feels heavier. At 03:19:41, Aaron coughs. The sound echoes, and then repeats. Not as an echo, as a second cough. Perfectly timed, perfectly matched. Aaron's hands begin to shake. He whispers, That wasn't an echo. Aaron speaks one word. "Hello." The response comes after a pause. "Hello." Same voice, same inflection, but the timing is wrong, too deliberate, as if something waited to be sure. Aaron backs away slowly. The passage ahead appears wider, not naturally. The rock walls look smoother, less eroded, as if carved recently. Aaron raises the camera. This wasn't here before. He turns back, and the tunnel behind him is gone, replaced by solid stone. No collapsed debris, no cracks, just wall. Aaron breathes in. The cave breathes with him, in, out, perfect synchronization. Aaron presses his hand against his chest. No, no, no. The breathing continues. The voice speaks again, clear now, calm. "Aaron, why did you come here?" The question sounds curious, not hostile. Aaron answers without realizing it. "To document the cave." Silence. Then the voice responds, "I am documented now." Aaron tries to stand. His legs don't move. He laughs weakly. "Okay," panic response. He tries again. Nothing. The camera tilts slightly as his grip loosens. The voice speaks once more. "You can rest." Aaron shakes his head. "I'm not tired." The voice replies, "You will be." The camera slides, not dropped, placed, carefully angled toward the tunnel. Aaron's boots step out of frame. He hesitates, then whispers, "If anyone finds this..." The voice interrupts him, in his own voice. "If anyone finds this..." Aaron stops speaking. The camera records empty space. At 03:41:02, the video feed freezes. The audio continues. Footsteps, 2 sets, one heavier, one familiar. Then, only one returns. The recording ends. 3 days after Aaron Cole vanished, a volunteer search team reached the last known entrance point. The cave mouth looked unchanged. No collapse, no disturbance, no signs of panic, just darkness. At 09:17 a.m., a rescuer noticed a faint glow deeper inside the tunnel. They followed it. 20 meters in, resting on a flat rock, and was Aaron's phone. Still powered on, still warm, still recording. The phone showed no damage, no cracks, no moisture. But several items were missing from Aaron's gear. Primary flashlight, rope harness, emergency beacon. Things you don't abandon accidentally, especially underground. Authorities reviewed the footage. Within hours, a formal search and rescue operation was approved. Because this was no longer a missing hiker case, it was a missing person with recorded evidence. 2 cave rescue specialists were assigned, and 1 officer equipped with a body camera. The bodycam footage begins at 14:02 p.m. The image shows Officer Mark Reyes, helmet-mounted light cutting through darkness. He narrates calmly. "Entering San Miguel Cave, search and rescue operation active." His voice echoes. Normally. The team moves slowly. Equipment checks. Tether lines secured. Reyes keeps the camera steady. "This place feels tight," he says. One rescuer laughs nervously. "Caves always do." The laughter echoes. Then echoes again. Late. Wrong. No one laughs the second time. At 14:19 p.m., the bodycam records visible breath. The temperature reading drops unexpectedly. One rescuer mutters, "It shouldn't be this cold down here." Reyes replies, "Log it." The cold deepens. As they move deeper, the team hears something. A voice, distant, muffled. Reyes freezes. "Did anyone call out?" No one answers. The voice speaks again. Clearer. It says, "Help." The rescuer nearest to the tunnel entrance reacts instinctively. That sounded like him. Reyes raises his hand. "No one answers voices unless we confirm." The voice repeats, "Help." Same tone, same cadence, no panic, just precise. Later analysis would confirm. The voice matched Aaron Cole's voice print with 92% accuracy, but at that moment, they didn't know that yet. They only knew it was coming from deeper inside the cave. The team follows the voice. The tunnel begins to narrow. Maps indicate no junctions here, but one appears. Smooth walls, recently exposed rock. One rescuer whispers, "This tunnel wasn't here." Reyes hesitates. The voice calls again. Closer now. "Mark." Reyes stiffens. He never gave his name. The bodycam records Reyes turning slowly. The tunnel behind them looks longer than it did before. He speaks quietly. "Stay together." The light flickers, and the footage cuts. When the footage resumes, the team is standing still. 3 figures, 3 lights. Officer Reyes speaks calmly, but his breathing is heavier now. "Stay together. No one follows voices alone." The cave answers, not with a sound, with silence. A silence so complete it feels intentional. At 14:31 p.m., one rescuer steps back, just half a meter. He looks confused. "I thought you moved," he says. Reyes turns. No one moved. The headlamp behind them flickers once, then goes out. The rescuer is gone. No scream, no struggle, no sound of footsteps retreating. Just absence. Reyes raises his voice. "Stop, no one move." Another rescuer whispers, "Where did he go?" Reyes doesn't answer, because the cave answers first, using the missing rescuer's voice. "I'm right here." The voice comes from behind them. The bodycam turns. The tunnel behind them is empty, but the voice continues. "I'm right here, I just stepped back." Same voice, same nervous tone, same breathing pattern. Reyes swallows hard. "That's not you." The voice pauses, then corrects itself. "You're right, that's not me." The voice speaks again, slower now, more deliberate. Asking helps, answering helps. Reyes feels his stomach tighten. It isn't threatening, it's instructive. The cave speaks again. "Evan!" The remaining rescuer flinches. "That's my name." Reyes snaps. "Do not answer." The voice repeats. "Evan." Closer this time. Perfect pronunciation. Perfect timing. Evan whispers, "How does it know?" Reyes doesn't respond. The bodycam shakes. Evan's headlamp swings wildly. He steps backward. "I just need to see." Reyes reaches for him. Too late. Evan is gone. The tunnel where he stood is now solid rock, smooth, unbroken, as if it had always been there. Reyes is alone now. His breathing is loud, uncontrolled. He speaks into the camera. "This is Officer Mark Reyes. Both rescue members missing." The cave responds, in his voice. "This is Officer Mark Reyes." Reyes freezes. Reyes speaks slowly. "I'm not engaging." The cave repeats. "I'm not engaging." But cleaner, more confident, as if practicing. Reyes backs away. The tunnel ahead elongates. The tunnel behind shortens. Space itself feels negotiable. The voice changes tone, warm, reassuring. "You don't have to be afraid." Reyes laughs bitterly. "I know what you are." The cave pauses, then asks, "What am I?" Reyes doesn't answer. The footage tilts. The camera lowers. Reyes kneels, not collapsing, not falling. Placing the camera, carefully, facing the tunnel. He speaks quietly. "If someone finds this..." The voice finishes the sentence with him. "If someone finds this..." Reyes closes his eyes. Footsteps echo, 2 sets, one heavier, one lighter. They stop in front of the camera. A shadow crosses the lens, and the recording ends. The bodycam was recovered 4 days after Officer Reyes vanished. It wasn't buried. It wasn't damaged. It was sitting upright on a flat stone shelf near the secondary tunnel, as if placed there deliberately. The camera casing was clean, no scratches, no impact marks, no evidence of a struggle. No bodies were found, no equipment, no clothing fibers, no blood, no biological traces of any kind. 3 people entered the cave. Nothing ever came out. Only a limited internal team was allowed to review the bodycam footage. The room was sealed. No phones, no external recording devices. Each reviewer was required to sign a psychological impact waiver. 2 analysts asked to be removed before finishing the footage. One did not return to work. The audio track was examined frame by frame. What they found was disturbing. The voices did not behave like sound. They showed no reverberation decay, no spatial diffusion, no echo profile consistent with stone. Instead, the audio appeared inserted, as if originating inside the recording device itself. Voice print analysis confirmed. Aaron Cole, 98% match Evan Brooks, 94% match Officer Mark Reyes, 96% match, but the timestamps didn't align. In several instances, the voice appeared before the person spoke, as if anticipating. Timecode inconsistencies increased the deeper the team went. Seconds stretched, minutes overlapped. At one point, the camera recorded the same second twice. Physics offered no explanation. 6 weeks later, authorities released a short statement. The incident was classified as multiple disappearances due to hazardous subterranean conditions. No mention of voices, no mention of footage, no mention of anomalies. The cave was sealed, permanently. Privately, several investigators objected. The evidence did not support environmental collapse. No rockfall, no gas buildup, no flooding. One internal memo ended with a single line. This environment behaves like an observer. The memo was archived. The footage was locked away, access restricted, copies destroyed, but one audio technician admitted years later, the hardest part wasn't what it said. It was how patiently it waited. The San Miguel Cave network was removed from public maps. Warning signs were installed, no explanation given. Locals were told, unstable terrain. But no one who worked the case believed that. There was one theory that never appeared in any official document. Not because it lacked evidence, but because it had no category. It didn't fit criminal investigation. It didn't fit geology. It didn't fit psychology. It suggested that the cave was not dangerous because it collapsed, but because it listened. Investigators were clear about one thing. This was not an animal. No claw marks, no nesting behavior, no biological traces. And it wasn't a humanoid figure moving through tunnels. It didn't chase. It didn't ambush. It didn't hunt. It waited. One analyst proposed what became known internally as the observer model. According to this theory, the cave environment does not attack intruders. It studies them. It observes how they move, how they speak, how they respond to stress. And once it understands them well enough, it stops needing them as individuals. Voices were not a weapon. They were a tool, a method of calibration. Each repetition refined tone, cadence, and emotion. Fear produced faster learning. Calm produced accuracy. By the time the entity used full sentences, it no longer needed the original speaker. When similar cases were compared, a pattern emerged. They did not occur randomly. They clustered around deep cave systems, abandoned mines, lava tubes, subterranean military structures, places where sound behaves abnormally, places where human orientation fails, places that feel older than memory. Across all cases, one detail repeated. Before disappearance, someone heard their own voice from somewhere it shouldn't exist. Not yelling, not screaming, speaking calmly, invitingly. Maps assume stable space, but investigators noticed something else. In each case, new paths appeared, corridors that weren't there before, turns that led back to themselves, as if the environment was rearranging itself around the observer, not physically, perceptually. This theory didn't deny fear. It required it. Fear accelerates attention. Attention sharpens memory. Memory provides structure, and structure gives the environment something to copy. The more aware the victim became, the more defined the response grew. One question remained. Why return the camera? Why leave evidence? The conclusion was unsettling. The entity did not perceive the footage as evidence. It perceived it as communication, a record of interaction, not a warning, a confirmation. During a closed-door review, one senior analyst said a single sentence. After that, the room went quiet. If this thing exists, it doesn't take people, it replaces them. No one argued. The San Miguel case was closed, but the theory wasn't dismissed. It was archived, classified. and quietly referenced whenever a disappearance involved voices, darkness, and places where sound doesn't behave. Officially, the case ended when the cave was sealed. Unofficially, it didn't, because there was one final piece of footage that never appeared in any report. It was recovered from the bodycam's corrupted buffer, only 8 seconds long, no video, audio only. The recording begins with silence, then breathing, slow, controlled, not panicked. Then a voice speaks, calm, professional. "This is Officer Mark Reyes." Then the same voice speaks again, from a different distance. "This is Officer Mark Reyes." The second voice is cleaner, more confident, as if improved. A third voice enters the recording, not distorted, not echoed, simply too present. It asks her, "Am I doing it correctly?" No one answers. The breathing stops. After several seconds of silence, the first voice returns. "Yes." The second voice repeats it. "Yes." Perfectly synchronized. The recording ends. Investigators who heard the clip reported the same reaction. Not fear, recognition, because whatever was speaking was no longer imitating distress. It was seeking confirmation, as if learning had reached its final stage. The San Miguel cave entrance was sealed with reinforced concrete. Warning signs were installed, access permanently denied, but sensors placed inside the rock continued to register movement. Slow, deliberate, too controlled to be natural. Eventually, the sensors were removed. 8 months later, a park ranger filed an unusual report. While performing a routine inspection near the sealed site, he heard a voice coming from beneath the rock. Clear, calm, professional. It said, "Search and rescue is no longer required." The ranger left immediately. The report was never followed up, To this day, Aaron Cole was never found, Evan Brooks was never found, Officer Mark Reyes was never found. No remains, no equipment, no explanation that fits. The cave remains sealed. But those involved in the case agree on one thing: the silence underground doesn't feel empty. It feels occupied. We assume dangerous places want to hurt us. But what if some places want something else, not bodies, not fear, but understanding, sound, behavior, identity? And once they learn enough, they don't need the original anymore. Some disappearances leave questions, others leave recordings, and some leave behind something far worse: the certainty that whatever answered back is still there. Listening, practicing, waiting. If you were underground, and you heard your own voice calling you from the dark, would you answer? Leave your theory in the comments. And if you want more real cases like this, documented, disturbing, and unexplained, subscribe to Paranormal Abyss, because some places don't collapse, they listen.